In the body cam footage, it doesn't look like some dramatic movie escape. It looks worse, because it looks ordinary. A dark street, red lights flickering against house siding. Firefighters moving like they've done this 1,000 times. And then, suddenly, two of them come into frame, carrying a man out of the smoke. He's not walking. He's not even really holding himself up. He's being carried, like he weighs nothing. And once you know what police say happened in that house, you can't unsee the way his arms hang, the way nobody is speaking in full sentences, and the way everyone moves faster than they want to. Because this wasn't just a house fire. According to police, this was a man's escape attempt, after more than 20 years. This starts on February 17, 2025 in Waterbury, Connecticut. Fire crews respond to a reported house fire, and in the release footage, you can see a woman outside holding a small dog, telling responders her stepson is still inside. That line, "My stepson is in there," should be the beginning of a rescue story. But in this case, police say it's the end of something much darker. Because once firefighters get him out, and he starts getting medical care, he tells first responders something that flips the entire call on its head. Police say he admitted he started the fire himself. Not for insurance, not for revenge, for one reason. "I wanted my freedom," he said. After the fire, investigators notice something that doesn't belong in a normal home. A door inside the house with locks on it. Not a child-proof latch or a privacy lock. Police describe a door secured in a way that suggests someone was being kept in, or kept from getting out. And when the crime scene photos get released later, you can see what they mean. Hardware that looks like it was added, then upgraded, then reinforced, like someone learned from every escape attempt that never made it past the hallway. Police say the room he described was roughly 8 by 9 feet. A space smaller than many people's closets. And if you want the horror movie feeling without saying anything graphic, this is where you get it. Not from gore, from architecture. From the simple question, why would any bedroom door need to lock from the outside?
Janine Sullivan. Was the door locked in his room or no?
No.
Okay, is it normally locked?
No.
Okay, it's normally open?
Yeah.
And he has free reign to go out of there whenever he wants? Okay.
Police say the man is 32 years old, and he tells them he's been held captive since he was about 11 years old. This is the part where your brain tries to reject the timeline, because 20 years isn't a long time for a building, but it is an entire human life. While most people were learning to drive, going to prom, getting their first job, police say he was being kept behind a locked door. And the reporting gets more unsettling when you see how the outside world almost caught it. AP reports he was withdrawn from school in 2004 to be homeschooled after child welfare concerns were raised, yet the situation still continued for years after. So this isn't just a one bad night story. It's a story about time. About how long something can keep happening if the only witness is the person it's happening to.
Children that the victim was familiar with hadn't seen him and they were concerned about him. Officers went to the house was clean, it was lived in, they spoke to the victim at that point in time, and there were no cause for any alarm or any conditions that existed that would have led officers to believe anything other than a normal childhood.
Now here's what makes this case uniquely haunting. Police say the fire wasn't random. It was a calculated gamble, a desperate one. Multiple outlets report the man told investigators he said it as a way to force a call for help, because he didn't believe he would ever be let out otherwise. Imagine living with a single idea in your head for years. If I don't do something extreme, I will die in here. And then, one night, you choose smoke. Because smoke travels. Because smoke makes sirens happen. And because smoke brings strangers to your front door. On March 12, 2025, police arrest Kimberly Sullivan, his stepmother. AP reports she faces multiple charges, including kidnapping and cruelty to persons, among others.
He told investigators when the wrappings to the food he ate were eventually discovered, he started being locked in his room and began drinking water from the toilet due to the fact that he was only getting 2 cups of water per day. By the early 2000s, in the 4th grade, he would ask others for their food, steal others' food, and sometimes eat food out of the garbage, according to the warrant. In 2005, his elementary school reports this to the Department of Children and Families, and police visit his home twice. According to the Warren interview, he was told by his stepmother, Sullivan, to tell them that everything was fine. After the second visit, he was permanently pulled out of school.
And here's where the story becomes 2 stories. One is what police allege happened inside that house. The other is what the defense says right away. Her attorney publicly denies the allegations, arguing she didn't restrain him and challenging the idea that she could keep an adult captive.
The pictures, I think, are put out there to make her look bad because the house appears messy. Oh, there's an exterior lock here. Let's all jump to conclusions.
At a press conference, the Waterbury police chief describes the case in blunt terms, calling it the worst mistreatment he's seen in decades of law enforcement. Officials describe the condition as worse than what you'd expect from a human being living in a family home. Weeks later, the case gets a second shockwave, because a trove of materials becomes public through FOIA and media requests, body cam segments, documents, and over 100 crime scene photos. And when those photos hit the public, they don't just show a messy house. They show patterns. A door that looks reinforced. A lock system that looks layered. Parts of the house that look like they were lived in normally, right next to parts that look like someone was being erased. And the defense attorney criticizes the release as unethical because it is active evidence in a pending case. Here's what people can't stop asking. How does this happen for that long? How does a person vanish while still technically living at an address? Reporting raises questions about missed opportunities, school records, child welfare involvement, and whether earlier complaints were investigated deeply enough. And this is the part that hits hardest, because it's not supernatural. It's not even complicated. It's a story about how silence can be engineered. A locked door, a closed curtain, a child pulled from school, a neighborhood that gets used to not seeing someone and stops thinking about why.
We knew it, we reported it, not a damn thing was done. That's the tragedy of the whole thing.
The DCF said it has been unable to locate any records pertaining to this family, nor any records connected to the names of others who have indicated they made reports to our department. State leaders say Connecticut can do better.
When the footage shows him being carried out of that house, it doesn't look like a new life. It looks like the first second of oxygen after being underwater for years. And the most unsettling part is this. Police say he had to set a fire to be seen, which means if he hadn't, the door might still be locked. The house might still look quiet, and the world might still think nobody was missing.
Got one victim right here. I need you to stay over here.
And that'll do it for tonight's story. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe so you can see more. It also lets us know that what we're doing is working. Have a good night. And if you suspect abuse or captivity, call local authorities.